everybody? It's your boy Kyle. I figured it was a good time to drop in, say hello, and maybe do a little unboxing because I just got back from Walmart where I picked up a new Lenovo computer. Now, admittedly, I did not spend very much on this computer. Tax included, I was out the door at less than 250 bucks. So we've all got to manage our expectations just a little bit. But the primary use for this computer in my life and in Bloodstripe Media is going to be web surfing and screenwriting. Those things should not have any problem with a lower end computer. After all, I still have my desktop computer and my full studio system for larger projects. So let's tear into this thing and see what we're getting for $240. This is probably our charger, and it is, of course. It's very familiar. It looks just like the last Lenovo charger I had. Some documentation in here. We'll rake that out so we can review it and then get this box out of the way. Taking a closer look at this charging device, it is literally the exact same as the last Lenovo charger that I had. Just your standard 65 watt AC adapter with the appropriate Lenovo tip. There's one thing I can already tell you that I do not like, and it's this charging block. I don't like these. I prefer when there's a cord coming off the end because in my experience, these tend to weigh away from the outlet a bit and they don't stay plugged in. Looking at our documentation, we have a safety and warranty guide. We'll go through that in just a few minutes privately so you don't have to watch that. Then we have a setup guide here. We're going to go ahead and discard that because I am all that is man. I'm also extremely thankful for this Lenovo pamphlet called Windows in S Mode that gives me less than one paragraph of information in, I don't know, at least 30 different languages. Let's get this thing out of the box. We have our fairly standard styrofoam protectant there on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and remove those from both ends, and then revealing this plastic bag, we can pull the device on out and get our first impressions of it. It's nice and smooth, feels like aircraft grade aluminum. I don't know whether or not it is, but that is of course the impression that I get from touching it. Go ahead and discard that screen protector. Here's another document. Thank you for your purchase. 15% off your first services order. Hopefully I'm not going to need a service order, but thanks. I'm just going to go ahead and plug this thing in before I even try and turn it on. I'm going to assume that the battery is probably dead, and if not dead, not well charged. I was right. Dead as a doornail. Come on, Lenovo. You got to ship them with at least a little juice. All right. She's coming to life. I guess it's time to do a little setup. It's not touchscreen. I'm waiting on this thing to make its first connections to the internet. Now here comes the really good part. Checking for updates. This could take a while. Yeah, we're all done with the updates as far as I can tell. That didn't take very long, maybe 5 minutes, and now we're back into reviewing license agreements and just general setup. It just set a verification code to my phone, so now I have to stop recording and go retrieve that code. I'm making progress. Slow progress, but maybe I'm finally getting close to using this new device. Never mind. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably been a decade since I set up my last new computer. I just went to install my preferred web browser, which just happens to be Google Chrome, and it told me I have to go in here and change it out of S mode. Apparently, I can't switch out of S mode without purchasing a real Windows license. The hell do I pay for if I ain't got a licensed copy of Windows? All right, it took me about maybe 10 minutes of just going through the menus and following the prompts, but we are now out of S mode. And from what I can tell, that means that we should be able to download the web browser of our choice. We should be able to install programs from outside of the Microsoft Store because we're no longer in safe mode. Stupid. You know, just for the record, when I say this thing shipped dead as a doornail.
This thing has been charging at least 20 minutes now, and it's just now reaching 31%.
Still going through setup, adding programs. I'm not going to lie to you, though. This thing's a little bit slow. I hope it's going to be sufficient for my needs. Maybe it's just because we're still in the setup and it's overworking itself for the moment. All right, finally, after some patience and just some good old-fashioned waiting, it's time for the good stuff. This is the primary purpose of this device, so let's see how it does with Final Draft 12. Again, watching YouTube and answering emails and screenwriting with Final Draft. That's the primary reason that I purchased this Lenovo computer. So if it can't handle that, it's going back to the store. We've made some substantial progress. In fact, I would go as far as to say that setup is almost complete. And we have the battery charged to about 60%. What I'm most excited about with this device, of course, is a laptop. It's portable, and I'm not going to be tied to this stool and this standing position. I'm ready to go sit down. All right, well, I have this thing ready to go for our first official test drive. So far, the speeds have picked up since we've restarted the system. We've done some minimal installations, but I have the things that I need. I'm ready to see how this thing performs. I've been playing with this thing now for about 20 minutes or so, and it's time for yet another update, of course. But this one seems to be going way, way quicker than the previous two. I figured I would just take a couple of minutes while it's updating and give you guys some of the technical specifications, just in case you're wondering. The processor in this is the Intel Core i3. It has 4 gigabytes of random access memory, 128 gigabyte solid state hard drive, and a 14-inch display. It has a 2-cell battery, and it came installed with Windows 11 Home, of course, in S mode, which we had to deal with earlier. Also take a quick look at some of the inputs that you have here. Of course, we have 1, 2, 3 USBs there. The one on the far left, that's for your charger, and then an HDMI port, of course, for your display needs. Pretty basic on the other side. You can plug in your headphones, and of course you have an SD card slot there for data transfer. That's handy. And in the amount of time it took me to tell you those things, we are just about finished with this security update. You know, I have not tested the speakers on this thing. Let's pull up something on YouTube and see what it sounds like. It's not terrible. I mean, it's not what I would call loud, but it's sufficient for a laptop. I guess that's the unboxing, guys. I'm at the playing with it stage now. I'm doing research and just trying different programs. And so far, this Lenovo IdeaPad 3 seems to be sufficient, at least for my purposes. Keep in mind, again, I have a very, very limited scope in mind for this laptop. Web browsing, writing scripts, and checking emails. Those are the main 3 for this laptop. Again, just judging off of the last hour or so, a test performance, if you will, I think it's going to get the job done. Will it be a good computer? I hope so. Will it be a great computer? I really hope so. But only time will tell. If you enjoyed today's short little boxing gun video, or if you found it helpful in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and of course I hope you did, then do me a favor, reach down there and hit the subscribe button. I do these from time to time. It's not what you might call my niche or my sweet spot, but there are some unboxing videos available. Of course, you can check out my web show, Take It Easy with Tap Out. That is my sweet spot.